Well, a fine good evening, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in Charlotte, Vermont today, and this is the West Burying Ground. We've already been to the East Burying Ground, also known as Bradley Cemetery, and that was the one that was just hidden with leaves. We've been to Morningside Cemetery, which formerly had been known as the South Burying Ground, and now this is the West Burying Ground, also known as the Barber Cemetery. So if you're going to use Google Maps, you need to type in Barber Cemetery in order to find this place. As we can see, there are a couple of fresh mounds here. So let's just take a walk around. I don't know who's buried here. Perhaps there is a Barber family, since it is named the Barber Cemetery. At least the road is paved. And this fence is a lot newer than the one that was pictured on line. I do know in 2017 that the Vermont Old Cemetery Association hosted a day-long training event on how to repair headstones. So, as I understand, that was very successful. And admittedly, that wasn't that long ago. I mean, this is 2021, December 3, 2021. Sun is setting, so I have a limited amount of time to show you this wonderfully old cemetery. This is a 1912 burial right in front of us, and a 1935 burial right there. The sign that said West Burying Ground is no longer in place. Now, if you're thinking about coming here to visit, thankfully there's no snow on the ground. There's just a few days there had been when I visited the East Cemetery in Williston, Vermont. But the ground here is abundantly uneven. It is undulating. We can see there is a disparity in height from the entrance, and then it comes down and evens out, and then goes down some more. We have our obligatory obelisk, Egyptian symbol of eternal life. Now, when I think of a tombstone, I do think of this arched shape. How about you? Do you think that way too? You can see that there are definitely some more expensive grave markers here. It took me forever to open the gate to get in here. It was really, it needs a little bit of oil on it. But then again, maybe they don't expect people to come visit. But if you're like me, maybe you like cemeteries as well. (1873) and 1878, these folks died. Salome, wife of John P. Strong, and Mr. Strong himself. I want to see what this is over here. And as for these folks, may you rest in peace. Before I get over to the other side, though, this tall one here does say "Our Mother" right there. And well, now I'm kind of curious. It's the Durand family. Which we can see right there. I've never been to this cemetery before. I don't know, as I said, I don't know who's buried here. I see two little headstones though. Lois Barnes, wife of Calvin Durand, died May 26, 1861, aged 61 years and 10 months. And then we have down here, and in case you, I don't know, can I make that, I don't know. You see how this comes down, it goes into like this, really want to call it a ditch, but take one wrong move in here and it's a broken ankle for sure. You see two little headstones right there. It's not a very big cemetery. Maybe an acre. I can't walk it all in this brief tour, but the idea sometimes is just to give you a taste of what it looks like, and then you can come and take a look-see for yourselves. Oh wow, look at this. There are broken headstones here, and it looks like they're going to fix them. How cool is this? Let's take a closer look-see. I have never seen like a fixing station before. Wow. And you may know by now that I'm easily amazed. And that's definitely the case right now. Just, well, I'm blown away. And it really doesn't take much to get me to this state. But wow, look at this. It's so exciting. How many of us have seen a ridiculous number of broken headstones that just remain broken? But I do know that on the Charlotte Cemetery Commission site that they do talk about how they feel it's their duty to care for the graves, including repairing them. Because we do see there's a tombstone down right here. And this orange marker that is showing us that they are aware of it and they're likely going to do something about it. There's another, holy cow, look at the size of this stump. Jeez Louise, that is, can you imagine the stories that stump could tell? Wow. Now I do see another orange marker over here beside a broken headstone. And I'm elated. They have this 2x4 right here holding that piece in place. That's fantastic. I'd like to give a shout out to the Charlotte Cemetery Commission, presuming they're the ones who are stepping up to repair. And certainly a shout out to the Vermont Old Cemetery Association, VOCA, for their part in teaching others how to care for headstones. Now, these over here, these are huge. Look at these bits. Don't mean to be disrespectful. Look at these. Aren't these amazing? Look at the size of these things. Would these have been standing at some time? They're so big. Look at the size of these. And we can see how thick they are. Maybe an inch and a half. An inch is equal to 2.5 centimeters. 2.54 centimeters to be precise. Thank you, 6th grade science class. George Tharp died September 6, 1850, age 85 years. Wow. I don't know about you, but doesn't this remind you of a headboard and footboard? I know in one I had commented that a certain type of headstone had reminded me of a cash register. And someone who watched the video commented saying, she had never thought about that, but now she's not sure she can unsee it. So my job is done. Holy cow, what is going on over here? I don't know either. It had to be down 6 feet. Well, I don't know back then it had to be buried 6 feet down. They didn't, as far as I know, they did not use, what are they called? Concrete vaults to make sure that the casket, because when a body decomposes and is in a wooden casket or coffin, everything loses its shape. So eventually there will be a depression in the ground. Now, I have heard people talk about that. I have not seen that personally yet. There's a first time for everything, of course, and I expect to see that at some point. But although I did see something similar along the lines of it, but it wasn't actually a depression in the ground at the 40th and Town Cemetery in Colchester, Vermont. But still, look at that tree. What's going on over here? We see at least 2 headstones that have been repaired to the best of their ability on this side. Holy cow! That's got missing a whole chunk, of the headstone. And we see over here, looks like some are in some sort of state of repair. Kind of interesting. And look, can you see how the circumference of this tree, I was going to say wide, but I suppose I can use the word wide. The circumference of this tree is just amazing. How old is this tree? Is it as old as the cemetery itself? I won't be able to find the year of that until I look online. Because, of course, the sign, as I said, describing the cemetery is gone now. And the sun is setting. Can you see that? The sun is setting. I see what appears to be tire tracks in here. Maybe that was for cutting the grass. And I will say, the grass is cut beautifully. I'm always glad when cemeteries are cared for at least enough that they've had their grass cut. what's going on over here too. Is this another headstone under repair? Let's see. I don't know what's going on over here. Okay. It's up on 2x4s. And then there are 2x4s on top. So I don't know. Maybe they're repairing. I have no idea what's going on right here. If you're interested in seeing my photographs for the places I visit, you can follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/travelingforhistory, at Traveling for History, or on my Facebook page, Traveling for History. Use quotation marks around these things, you'll find me. Same on YouTube. I have well over 200 videos up. Look at that. Really interesting that they have these wooden 2x4s in here. Fascinating. I'd love to watch them do this, admittedly. What's this over here? Interesting. All right, well, I wasn't going to walk the end of this cemetery, but I do want to see this headstone down, well, this monument down here. And I see also another workspace where it looks like they're going to be repairing some more headstones, or maybe just the one headstone. And who is this? And then of course we have this hole right here. It's hard to tell it's a hole, but if I put my cane in there, you can see it against the hole there. That's the wall of the hole. I'd say it's a good 6, 7, 8 inches deep. Ooh, ground is very soft. Whew. All right, and here we go. I'm glad I have a cane when the ground is like this. And here we can see the underside of the headstone. We're not supposed to see this area down here. That's the base on which it's sitting. This is Joseph Jones, December 13, 1805 to May 7, 1888. And Margaret W. Sweatman, his wife, August 9, 1800 to January 5, 1884. So he outlived her by 4 years-ish. I forget, someone told me what kind of granite, this style of granite, uncut, or there's a name for that. And really appreciated the information at the time, and someday I'll remember that. Mary Eliza, daughter of Joseph. So Joseph and Margaret. So the more to the underside as well. And that's quite the depression right there. Huh. I wonder, it's not the size of a grave, but still, it's a depression nonetheless. Now, I've said this a few times in different cemetery videos. I'll say it again right now, that Mother Nature and Old Man Winter don't care who you were in life, how rich you were to afford such a beautiful headstone or not. Frost heaves will topple your grave marker as easily as anything. So, anyway. Okay. Well, that does look like a headstone right there. That's laying down right here in front of us. O.P. Wheeler died February 23, 1840, aged 30 years. And then Cornelia Wheeler, his wife, died in 1819, aged 71 years. Oh, excuse me, no, not 71, 7.5 years. My apologies, 7.5 years. Because I couldn't read. This is Abigail, widow of S. Wheeler, died April 14, 1850, at the age of 73 years. She sleeps in Jesus. And this side, this is S. Wheeler right here. He died in 1843, maybe, 73 years. His trust was in the Lord. So we've checked three sides. Let me go ahead and come around to this last side. And there's nothing on this side. We'll use 75% of it. All right. I am going to get out of this cemetery while there's still a itty bitty teeny weeny bit of light and get to my car, which is parked on the side of the road. But wow, it's really on an angle. When I put my phone up on the dash, it skid all the way to the other side. I thought I was going to hit the floor, and then I was wondering how I was going to get it out because I can't open the door on the other side of my car. But let's walk at least to the entrance together, and we'll just admire some more graves as we go along. These are, the artistry. I would not describe anything here as funerary art, but still lovely nonetheless, and peaceful. It's next door to a farm, has farmland behind it, has these fabulously old trees, and I know I enjoy walking cemeteries, since I have walked several so far. And I love taking you along with me. I get the exercise, you get the eye candy. So, I guess I get the eye candy too, but I get the exercise as well. Whoop. I don't want to snap an ankle. As I said, that would not make my evening complete. Veteran, certainly. It's about, if you're wondering about the temperature today, it's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 0 degrees Celsius. So I'm guessing it's about 1 below Celsius. I'm kind of curious, by the way, for the rest of the world that uses the metric system. Do you call it below zero? I mean, do you say that? Is that a... I mean, here in the U.S. for Fahrenheit, you know, if the temperature is 0, so 32 degrees Celsius, so when the temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 0 degrees Celsius, when it hits 0 here and below, we just say it's below 0. Do you guys say that too? That would certainly mean something different. I mean, the idea is the same, but the temperature certainly would be warmer where you are if you're in a country that uses centigrade. There's the front gate. See my car's hazards on. Ooh. Holy cow. All right. So again, this is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in the West Burying Ground, or the Barber Cemetery, here in Charlotte, Vermont. And this is a lovely cemetery. Anyway, be careful of the ground should you come here. But I'm going to be ending this video. Until I see you again, you have a great night. Thanks so much for coming along with me. I appreciate it. Bye.